Accuser, the measure off of all things is impatience, punctuality, guilt, and accusations. And people that have, for example, if you have a chart of, and as a woman, I tell you to be aware of this. Okay, the worst aspect to look for in a chart is, I bet you remember Pluto.
Yeah.
You said Saturn,
Mars.
Saturn-Mars-Pluto.
Yeah.
Should we tell that story? I don't think we should. Huh?
It's okay, we get it.
She's a Scorpio. I don't think she would go for it.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of experiences when we were dealing with this aspect, okay? This is something that you want to watch out with. Saturn, Mars, Pluto. It can be, first of all, Mars is anger and hurt in a person, and Saturn is living in the past. And Pluto can be very much not the best aspect. It can be, Pluto, it can be deadly, quite frankly. It's not a good aspect.
Obsessive.
Obsessive, good for you.
That's right. Pluto is, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
obsessive.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that deals with sexual health and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, if you're a masochist, get after it, you know, right?
My friend has a Pluto-Mars conjunct her ascendant in Scorpio. And I always laugh at her. I think it's so funny. I'm like, come on, just be you.
Yeah, just let go, right? Don't fight it. You can't fight it anyway, right? I like that. I like that. That's good advice. Okay, so
Don't implode otherwise.
So what do you, for affliction, what is your definition of affliction?
Mars, oh, okay.
Like, what does that look like?
Opposition, squares,
The opposition?
90 degrees,
I have
180.
conjunct. What do you consider?
Pluto's conjunct what?
No, I have Moon and Mars conjunct.
Do you? Actually, that's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful. There's a man that wrote in the 1500s named Jerome Cardan, and he had 100 and some aphorisms for astrologers that were, you know, they're outdated now, but there are a lot of them that are really accurate and I thought good. And he said, oh, any woman that has Mars conjunct the Moon, I will warrant her. I will back her up. I will warrant, you know, I warrant
Yeah.
you, right? And he considered it to be one of the best aspects for a woman there is. But it generally, in a woman's chart, if you add that to afflictions from other angles in that chart, what do you end up with? You end up with afflictions, let's say a cross-forming from other planets. That can produce a lot of emotional pain. Moon-Mars aspect, okay? So Moon to Mars afflictions, feelings hurt easy, emotional insecurity when faced with danger or threats, okay? So, you know, that's very possible with that aspect, okay? Especially if it's afflicted by other planets.
Take a picture of this.
Yeah, you can, everybody can, you know. I want you, ultimately, everybody in this room that studies under me, my goal is to see not only you doing great astrology, but I want you to teach eventually, okay? Because the best way to learn is to teach. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's the best way there is. So you'll learn more by teaching, and people say, well, I don't know enough to teach. Well, you know more than 90% of the people out there that come to you for class. So, and if you don't know something, it's real simple. Say, well, you know, I don't have the answer, but next week I'll have it for you. You know, there's nothing wrong with admitting you don't know something. I get asked questions sometimes, and I don't know the answer. After all these years, I still don't know. So anyway, okay, the stomach, danger of threats. Okay, stomach ulcers, it's potential with Mars, Saturn. Okay, because Mars is very acidic. People that have Mars afflicting the Moon can have over acidic stomach.
You know, I had that, right? Moon to Mars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
My Mars is down here and my Moon's coming over there.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
that mean it's opposite?
yeah, you do. So what happens is we get the areas that can be affected are what? The breast, Mars conjunct the Sun. I mean the Moon, right? Moon rules your breast, right? And it also rules the internal female parts of the body, the stomach, and particularly in a woman it rules the female parts a lot, okay? It can be breast surgery, it can be, I've noticed a lot of people that have Moon-Mars energy aspects of what it might be, what we think of surgery, have augmentation surgery. In other words, they have breast enlargement.
The shrine or anything?
Anything, you know, any aspect between them.
I have a shrine.
Did you? Because have you ever desired to do that?
Shrine is nicer than I
Yeah.
did it.
My daughter did it.
I did it.
You did it, see? So that's, and because now we got Mars, thanks for sharing, by the way. You're very, I love that you do that, because that's really part of what this class is about. feeling safe and comfortable with each other.
But
Yes.
it can be the trines too, right?
Yeah.
Is any connection?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's just, you're segueing into what I was gonna say, because I have a trine between Moon and Mars of about 23 degrees, and I had spleen surgery. My spleen was removed. They had to cut the muscles. And I guess because I had the trine, the surgery went so incredibly well that it's the most perfect scar like you ever saw.
Wow.
That it looks like I'm ripped.
Yeah?
It's just a straight line that goes down.
Can I see it?
Yeah, if you really.
No. I was teasing you. I had a client one time, she kept talking about this scar on her, because I told her, I said, you have Mars afflicting your moon, and I see a scar on your breast. It's from a past life knife wound, I said. And it's a birthmark. And she said, my God, Ron. And she said, I said, can I see it? You know, it didn't go.
I had like
It was a joke.
5 nurses come in because
Couldn't
all of
believe
a
it.
sudden the surgeon started telling people
About it.
that it was the most perfect scar.
Did that
And I had people just marching in to look at it. I'm like,
Yeah, that's cute, that's cute. Yeah, you were gonna do it. I see it. Yeah, but here's the thing is that when I saw that in that woman's chart, because it was the 12th house, past life, and the scar I knew was on her breast, and she had a wound, she had a birthmark, and it looked just like a knife wound, she told me. And so get this, she said, really, Ron, the most amazing part of all that, she says, is all my life, I've got a fear of knives. She says, if I leave a knife on the counter in the kitchen, I get panicked. Because I see that knife and I gotta put it away. Because it's in the subconscious, it's there still. You know, but she was stabbed by a lover in a past life, and I could see that. Sometimes I see things in a chart. And that's what I want you to start looking for, deeper meanings and things, you know? And you'll get this the more you do it. Believe me, it'll just come. People say, how did you see that in my chart? You know, how did you know that? You know, it's like the chart talks. It's speaking to me. It's got a message. It's trying to send a signal to me. You know. So anyway, okay. So